The people under fire during the Fort Hood attack remembered their brush with death in court today.
That testimony came after the judge in Major General Hassan's trial ruled his counsel would have to stay on the case. KXAN's Chris Sadeghi was inside the courtroom today and has details on day 3 of the trial.
Yeah, Robert, yesterday things hit a snag when Hassan's attorneys said they wanted off the case because they felt he was intentionally trying to get the death penalty. But today, the judge said that they would stay on, and that was an order. It turned into an almost argumentative exchange between Judge Tara Osborne and Colonel Chris Poppy after they debated her ruling. Poppy says it's not ethical and it's against their rules of conduct to help Hassan do what he's doing. Osborne says it's not an ethics issue, but rather just a disagreement with Hassan's defense strategy. Poppy said the team would stay but would file a writ to appeal the ruling. After that, more than a dozen witnesses of the attack testified about their horror, including many soldiers that were hit by bullets. Most all of them said they first thought it was a training exercise, and for some it didn't dawn on them until they saw the blood what was happening. The soldiers who were hit said that they laid down and played dead during the nearly 3-minute barrage of bullets. The courtroom has only a few seats set aside for family members, and attorney Neil Shearer, who's representing those families in a civil suit, says seeing Hassan in the courtroom is a disgusting sight.
Hassan has played the system, and I don't know who's guiding him, whether it's lawyers or whoever, but he's played the system masterfully. Do you know it's taken longer to get this guy in the dock than it took for the Allies to beat Nazi Germany?
And on KXAN.com, you can read a much more detailed account of today's testimony, including some very gripping testimony from a medical supervisor who watched most of the attack unfold while hiding in her office. Leslie, Robert, back to you.
Well, Chris, a lot of the national media is there at Fort Hood watching from an overflow feed room, but I'm told you were able to be in the courtroom today. What was that like?
Yes, they're doing it on a lottery basis since there's so much media here. It's a very small courtroom, only about 45 seats, most of that taken up by Army personnel. There's about a dozen seats for media, and then about a dozen seats for the victim's family. What we saw today, even though they had the issues yesterday, Hassan is leaning over, occasionally talking to Colonel Poppy. All the witnesses do have to identify him. Some are very timid, just kind of glancing over towards him. Others are very stern, not intimidated at all as they stare right at him and point him out. Another thing, Hassan does have to approve all exhibits. Some of those exhibits are pictures of the people that were killed. A lot of times he just takes it, hands it back without even bothering to look down. We're live at Fort Hood. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.